We welcome to the show, Shaggy. How's it going?
I'm doing great, my brother. I'm here in New York, about to, I'm doing a couple of morning television shows, and a few of them are still in person. So hopefully I'll be back in Jamaica by next week.
Nice. So what can you tell us about your new Christmas album, Christmas in the Islands?
Well, this idea started from Sting and I doing Disney Christmas last year, and we did a couple of songs, Christmas songs in reggae, which was Silent Night and Little Drummer Boy, and we said, yeah, it'd be cool to do like a Christmas reggae album. And so at the top of the year, I started to work on some melodies, and I sent them to Sting. It was like, great, let's catch up, and produced it. But then the pandemic hit, and he was stuck in the UK, I was stuck in New York. Then I ended up being stuck in Jamaica after that, and it was clear at that point that it was going to be a Shaggy Christmas album with, so I just changed the narrative of it and talk about my experience, my Christmas experience.
What was it like recording a Christmas album? It's your first Christmas album, isn't it?
My first Christmas album, not my first Christmas song, but my first Christmas album, yes. It was cool because I didn't want to do it traditional. Christmas in Jamaica for us has always been about the parties, and family and food, and they always just play party songs. So part reggae and dancehall party songs. So I just did an album with reggae and dancehall party songs with a Christmas theme to it. You know what I'm saying? And I just got some of the people who were amazing soundtracks, who were responsible for the soundtracks of our lives, like Bounty Killer, Beenie Man, Junior Reid, Richie Stephens, people like those, Sanchez, along with some new people like Omi, Shenseea, Romain Virgo, Jamila Falak, Craigie T, and just kind of blend this amazing album together. Of course, people like Neo and Ding Dong and, Joss Stone just really rounded it off.
Yeah, there's some great collaborations on the album, isn't there?
Thank you, sir. Yes.
So my favorite tracks are Icy Christmas, Christmas in the Islands, the title track. What are some of your favorites?
I like I love Christmas in the Islands because it's Rayvon, and Rayvon on Shaggy is just always been great. It's just a way that Rayvon's voice complement my voice. It's just always magic. So that is one of my favorite also. I love Ragamuffin Christmas with Bounty Killer and Junior Reid. I think it tells the story of our Christmas, the Christmas I grew up with, which is from the ghettos of Jamaica. And he's talking about Pepper Light, and he's talking, when Bounty Killer is telling you about fireworks downtown and Grand Market, and that's my youth, from the Garrison side. And then there's Holiday in Jamaica with Neo, which is from a tourist standpoint, a visitor standpoint. Neo being that visitor, comes in and there's beautiful scenery. And we take that for granted sometimes as Jamaican. It's like, all right, okay, we're about beach and tequilas and Mai Tais and all. It's like we take that for granted, but a lot of people, it's part of the cool. So we got to bring the cool back to that.
Yeah, and I like the lyric in Icy Christmas where you say you want to have ice in your drink and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that sounds very good.
Yeah, only ice I should have must be my cup.
Of course, as you mentioned, in Jamaica, temperature-wise, it must be very different to here in England at Christmas, but it's still Christmas, isn't it?
It's still Christmas. It's great. I love... in Jamaica, it's about family. It's about food. It's about the parties. It's about getting together. It's about sorrel. A lot of people don't know Jamaica has probably one of the largest breakfast menu in the world. So it's great brunches. You got ackee and sawfish, ackee and campo, ackee and redderin. You have mackerel rundown, you have salt mackerel, you have breadfruit, you have, the list goes on and on and on and on. And you have liver, you have stew chicken, you have sprat, you have all of these things that will make an amazing brunch.
Great.
And I love that.
that was one of my questions, actually. In Jamaica, what's the typical Christmas dinner in Jamaica?
Christmas dinner is always a big deal because of the fact that it's our biggest holiday. You know, in America, they have like Thanksgiving. That's their big holiday. Jamaica, Christmas is a big deal. We're under British system. We're under the British system. It's a big holiday for you guys also.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually thinking it's been a while since there's been a Christmas reggae album. Why do you think that is?
Well, there's a couple of I think this is the first, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first Christmas dancehall album. You know, there've been reggae albums before, but I think why you haven't seen it is because a lot of people didn't look at Christmas as cool. There was no cool factor in it. You know, you kind of think of Christmas that I know is Nat King Cole, Bing Cosby, you know, recently with Mariah Carey. And she brought a little bit of coolness to it. But it was always the things that you're at Christmas time where your father played or your parents played. You know, you don't look at your parents as cool, you know? So I think what we did was brought the cool factor to it. We try to make Christmas cool. You know what I'm saying? And with the style of music that we did, we brought a coolness to it.
Yeah, and with Christmas songs, I mean, I think it's kind of changed now. I think there's a lot of Christmas songs coming out every year now. But as you mentioned, it kind of sort of died off, but it's coming back now.
Yeah, I mean, Mariah Carey was a big part of that movement, and she was smart to involve younger acts. I've seen her involve Justin Bieber. I've seen her involve, you know, all of these new acts that she brought that are out right now, you know, and she brought them into it. And that was kind of cool. You know what I mean? That brought the cool factor to it because the young people are the cool, you know? So when you got like a Shenseea and Omi and these hot people, you know, Romain Virgo that's on this album, they're the ones that's bringing the cool fact. Great artists are bringing the cool factor to it. Of course, a Bounty Killer and Junior Reid doing Christmas record. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
Yeah, great project. And when did you record this? In summertime or?
I started writing the songs in about March, and I ended up started to record around August, and I did most of it in Jamaica. I did most of the beats were done in New York when I was in New York, and most of the songs were written in New York with me and my team, and then I went to Jamaica and just kind of started doing the vocals and putting everything else together.
Great. So you're hoping to get back to Jamaica for Christmas?
Oh yeah, definitely. My family is my friends. Yeah.
Fantastic. As you mentioned, of course, about the pandemic, it's been a frustrating year for all of us. I bet you can't wait till everything gets back to normal and you can crack on with your music, I bet.
Yeah, well, let's hope we get back to normal. We're watching that vaccine. I got to look at you guys the guinea pig. So I got to, if I see you start growing more than 10 fingers, I know, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm good.
Well, they're trying it on the oldies first, so. But yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. all 12 of them.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, it's been great to speak to you, Shaggy. And when is the album going to be released? Is it out now or?
It's on all streaming format right now. It's out right now. It's on all format. We just need to step our game up in the UK and get the word out a little bit better. We certainly dropped the ball on that side.
Great.
And I'm trying to repair it as it is. By the time I found out what was going on, I've been hitting up everybody, just to get the word out going. But it's been out since about probably around 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah, it's very good. I have enjoyed it. It's a good album.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it, brother.
And which tunes would you like me to play from it on the show?
Play anything you want, man. Holiday in Jamaica is always great. And Ragamuffin Christmas is all my favorite. Christmas in the Islands, great track. There's even a traditional one. It's a great body of work, man. I like everything on there.
I was actually going to mention that. Yeah, you've done a couple of covers as well of famous Christmas songs where you're actually singing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When I was doing a record company, they had suggested that we put two traditional ones, at least two traditionals one on there. I said, well, if I'm going to do traditional songs, I'm going to do them my way, you know. And so I just put one drop reggae under them. I called Linky Marsden and I said, hey, I'm going to sing on these. I'm going to put the Shaggy voice to some crooning style, and you're going to guide me on this. And Linky did an amazing job at making sure I was on key, I was on point, and all my expressions were right. And he was, you know, he did his thing.
So you must have enjoyed that. That must have been different.
It was different. My confidence really came from Sting, because Sting was the first one that told me that I should sing more. Him and I was on a boat in Norway, I think, doing somewhere in Scandinavia on a boat on a holiday, a day off. And we were playing some Frank Sinatra songs, and I was singing it. And he was singing, he's like, yo, you know, that's your key, right? You sound really good doing that. You should really record some songs like that. But I wasn't confident in my singing, and he was just like really pushing me on it. Say, hey, you should really do that. That's
great. So he gave you the confidence.
Yeah, he was Sting is responsible for a lot of my confidence in my later years. You know, he was the guy that really got me out of a rut of creatively in a vibe where he just walks in a room and raved about me. He thought that what I did was so genius. He liked the way my writing, what I did, you know, and I was taken aback, because I look at him as, you know, this iconic Jesus in his game. But he was sitting down there fascinated with what I was doing. And that was really, really good for my confidence. I really thank him for that.
And I always enjoy reggae cover songs. I don't know about you, but they sound totally different, don't they? In a good way.
Yeah, because, you know, it's funny enough, reggae is the only genre that you could basically do any song in reggae, but you can't do any reggae song in any other genre. It sounds weird.
No, you're right. I know what you mean. But there's so many songs that they re-release, they re-record in reggae, and it just sounds totally different, but, you know, in a good way.
It does. It's always great to do those, man. Always.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, Shaggy, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, bro. Happy holidays to you and your family, man. And, you know, stay safe and warm.
Will do. It's freezing here.
No, that's why I'm saying it.
Enjoy the sun.
All right, my brother. I will. Thank you, man.